on a high, right? The Lobos renewed a rivalry with UTEP and got a big last-second win when they were down with a minute to go, and they scored 2 buckets back-to-back after giving up the go-ahead 3 to take the lead, and then they hang on. They win at home by a point, closed a close game. A close game at the finish. New Mexico won. On the Aggie side of things, since New Mexico beat them in the pit last month, they've gone on a 5-game winning streak. So both teams riding high coming in, as if there isn't already enough when these two match up. You've got two teams playing pretty well, and they're going to butt heads tonight. I'm really excited for this one, a place where Coach Neal has had a ton of success since he arrived with Coach Alford. He's been here 10 years now. When Alford and Neal brought their team to the Pan Am Center back in the 07-08 season, they lost. Since then, New Mexico hasn't lost in this building. That's hard to imagine.
Oh, I mean, that, especially here, because I think this is a tough place to play. But, you know, the true test will be, can New Mexico Lobos get their true road victory, their first road victory, because they haven't won really on the road other than at a neutral site against Cal State Northridge.
You're locked into the Bank of the West pregame show. Bank of the West donates $10 to Special Olympics of New Mexico for every three-pointer that Lobo basketball makes this year. Bank of the West, a proud partner of the Lobos right out of the gate, and we'll get more to this when we get to our injury report coming up by, of course, UNM Hospitals. But got to get it right now. Tim Williams is in uniform. Coach Neal told me that he will play. How much he will play, we'll see. But he's available, and very likely, I would expect, will start. On the flip side of things, New Mexico has its leading scorer. We see Sidi Nadir, who has been playing better than anybody on this New Mexico State roster during their 5-game winning streak. Yep, he's now their leading scorer. He has a boot on his ankle, and he is in street clothes. What a flip of the script. The Lobos came here thinking they might not have their best guy playing a red-hot Aggie team. Tim Williams plays, the Aggies won't have their best guy tonight.
Nadir sitting out, that's huge for them, New Mexico State, because, he, like you said, he's been on fire. He's averaging close to 14 points a game, their leading scorer.
All right, we got to take our first time out. Remember, Everguard Solar, Everguard Roofing, donate $10 for every Lobo slam dunk to Allface. Everguard Solar can help you turn a sunny day into a money day. Everguard Roofing can fix a hole in your roof or give you a whole new roof. We come back on the other side of the break. Your Delta Dental coaches' comments. The 7-2 Aggies hosting the 6-3 Lobos in the Rio Grande rivalry. Back after this on the Bank of the West pregame show. It's Lobo basketball from their field.
High-speed internet from
inside the Pan Am Center in Las Cruces, New Mexico. You're locked into the Bank of the West pregame show. The Lobos have traveled south to take on their Rio Grande rival, the New Mexico State Aggies. The Lobos come in at 6-3, and New Mexico State at 7-2. It's time for the Delta Dental coaches' comments, brought to you by Delta Dental of New Mexico. We welcome in Lobo head coach Craig Neal.
Craig, the Lobos and New Mexico State final meeting for 2016-2017. First off, let me ask about Tim Williams and his health and availability. How's he come along, and is he ready to go tonight?
Yeah, I think he's going to be. You know, I'm talking to the doctors before the game, but I think he's going to be okay to play, so we'll just see how much we can play him.
Excellent news. The last time that you guys were here, Elijah Brown busted loose for 31 points, and there was a very scary incident where one of your players, Devin Williams, went down, and it looked very, very serious. As it turns out, he's okay, but his career ended here a year ago. That was some night in the Pan Am Center.
Yeah, it's serious because kid, you know, he doesn't get to play anymore. His career's over. I think a lot of our fans have forgot about Devin, and that, you know, he'd be back on our team right now. And you know, I think they forgot about the depth he would add and how good a player he was. And you know, it was serious in that respect, but he's healthy, and that's the biggest thing. He's going to get his graduate degree. He's doing great. Spends a lot of time with us. So you know, it's just one of those things that happened. It was hard to deal with, but our guys were pretty resilient. We got over the hump.
Yeah, and thankful with that congenital condition that he had that it wasn't more serious.
Yeah, it could have been really serious. So we were very fortunate, and he was very fortunate, but he's just a super kid.
Lobo head coach Craig Neal's alongside. Let's go back to the rivalry game against UTEP for a moment. Take us through the end game sequence. You guys get down 3. You're in a timeout. You told us you drew up a play actually to get a shot for Anthony Mathis?
Yeah. It happened just having you choreographed it. No, it didn't happen like that. We had a guy made a bid shot. Jordan Hunter got to the rim. There's plenty of time. We were able to foul. They missed a free throw. You know, if they make a free throw, it could have been a different outcome. But that's just not what we do as coaches. But our players made the plays to do that, and you know, they deserve all the credit. But that's what it is. Players, if you win, players get the credit. If you lose, coaches get the criticism. So that's part of it. Our guys made big plays, and you know, Elijah Brown's one of the best players in the league. He made a big shot. Jordan Hunter made a big play, but you know, X came up with some big defensive stops. But it just, you know, my biggest thing with my guys for the last 3 days has been, why do you have to wait to the last minute to decide to guard? I mean, they went 7 straight possessions without a score. And, you know, our guys got to stop waiting till they get in trouble. You know, they've done it in the classroom where they've waited to the last minute, procrastinated, and had to basically stay up for 2 nights in a row to get stuff done. So we got to pay more attention to detail in everyday life, but also that kind of carries over to basketball. And I'd like to see our guys have the approach, and I've talked to them till I'm blue in the face, and we talked to them about it today. We spent time with them today. They have to do that all the time, every possession, and that's just paying attention to detail. Now, they did it for 7 possessions at the end of the game that they had to win. Well, then they've already showed me they can do it. So they have to put in the effort, and it's, you know, anything that when you compete, you know, what's that look like? And we talked about it. Well, it's difficult and it's hard, and you know, defense is hard to do if you do it right. So they're going to have to continue to work on that, but we just need more consistency from the start of the game.
Lobo head coach Craig Neal's alongside. All right, let's dig into the matchup here against New Mexico State. And you've told us, as they've won 5 in a row since you beat them last month in the pit, they're playing better. Yeah,
they're playing better. Got a new lineup, playing a little bit smaller. Yeah, but they're good. I mean, they were good the first time we played them. So, you know, Baker's the key. I mean, he makes them go, so we have to control him. We can't let him have 20, 25 of their 59 like we did last time, but we got to keep them off the glass. We have to rebound it better. The whole thing's going to be if we can hold them under 65, we'll have a chance to win.
Sidi Nadir leading them in scoring right now, and you said he's playing much better.
He's playing really good. I mean, he's playing with great energy. He's a good athlete, tough competitor. So he's a tough cover. We have our hands full. The thing that I think our big men have really improved on their defense, I think our depth has helped with Joe, Connor, and being able to play X there a little bit. And now Tim Williams is back. We have great depth there. So I think our post defenders and our post defense with our post defense and our pick and roll defense with our bigs has really improved. Now, I think our guard defense has regressed. And those guys got to learn to start guarding the ball. It's just like I talked to you last week about matchups. And if you got to win each matchup, and if you can win each matchup, then you got a pretty good chance to win. But we're getting beat right now in guard matchups. And our guards got to start guarding the ball. They got to start jumping to the ball and helping one another. And then they got to sprint back in transition. So those are things that we're talking about and working on. So hopefully that'll show up tonight.
You mentioned Coach Paul Weir's gone a little smaller with his lineup, and Braxton Huggins is playing better as well, and he's shooting the three, 47.7%.
Yeah, that's not a good sign for us because we haven't been very good at it, but we've got to be there on the catch. We got to run wider in transition, which we showed them on film, and they got to have a sense of urgency to be there on the catch. And if they do that, then we'll be okay because we had a sense of urgency once we let them hit 15, and you can only let them hit about 6. So, you know, I think they understand that there's got to be a sense of urgency. There's got to be a closeout, but then it's got to be personal that you're upset that they scored.
You've had a lot of success in this building, the Pan Am Center. In fact, as a head coach, you haven't lost in this building. You've been able to get your team ready for tough road games, it seems, ever since you've arrived here, 10 years. Is there a magic formula?
Well, I think there's a lot of different factors, but I probably shouldn't say all the factors on the air.
What are some keys for your team's victory here tonight? You've touched on a lot already.
Well, I think Robert, if we can share the ball and we can move the ball and our spacing's good, we're able to score. When we start getting into dribbling a lot, not sharing the ball, not moving the ball, and the ball sticks, and what I mean by sticks is it stays on one side of the floor and one guy's dribbling it. If we move it and let everybody touch it, we're really good offensively. But spacing's a big key. Spacing's a key. We're scoring at a high clip. What we do in our offense that people don't understand, and I know some of our fans don't. We're pinpointing things that can work. I mean, we're taking advantage of what'll work, and it's been successful, and that's one reason why we're able to score the ball. We're going to go at you in a way that we know what your weakness is, and it's not going to be, 5 guys running all over the place and dribble driving in motion. We're going to attack you. It's almost like a little bit like when we scout and we're looking to take we're going at your weakness. And we're able to do that. If we're able to do that, then we can score. And I'm not worried about scoring, even though we've had some games where we've been bad shot selection, ball stuck, we didn't share it, selfish play. If we can get away from that. But I want to see how they're going to guard. If it means something to them, then they're going to defend, and they're going to defend with great energy and great effort. And if they do that, we'll have a great chance.
To that end, New Mexico State is scoring the ball better as they've won 5 in a row. I've noticed that their three-point percentage has gone up. Is that just it? They're making more jump shots, or is there more to it?
Well, I think you look at any stats. I mean, it's just like you look at our stats, and everybody wants to get caught up in all these analytical stats. A lot of our stats are very similar to last year. We've improved some, but you got to remember we hadn't played in a conference. We haven't played in a tournament yet last year, so it's hard to look at those stats. Now, you also got to look at opponents you play and stuff like that. So I think things change over the course of the year. We're just trying to get better. I just want my guys to get better each day, take a step forward, and then when they come back the next day, that it's got to start right there. It can't go back. It can't take 2 steps back. They have to take a step forward now in that, okay, they got over the hump and won a close game. But they had to get 7 stops in a row. And then we had the ball to win it. Our guy made a big shot. Now, are we going to be able to take the next step and get a bunch of stops in a row, guard like we can, use our athleticism, and then are we going to be able to get a stop? I hope it doesn't come to that. I don't want it to come to that, but, that's what we got. We just can't go backwards. We have to – now we've already got over the hump, winning a close one. Now we got to start right there, and now we got to progress forward, and that's what I'm looking for.
All right, Coach. Appreciate your time. Best of luck against the Aggies.
No worries. Thanks, brother.